Hello and welcome. I am going to be teaching you how to do cuts, transitions, edits, whatever you want to call it, the way I do it in these videos. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've did. I'm going to explain how I did it. After, I'm going to demonstrate with some raw footage that I just recorded. And then after that, I will show the product. Bear with me here because this is like my first day of making an edit every day. So right here, I was just trying to make it as smooth as possible to transition from being at the pits to drifting. So right here, I'll go slower, like frame by frame. As my camera is turning, this is the angle that I was drifting at. So when I cut to this clip, I kind of put a transition, like one of the dissolves or whatever in DaVinci. You can see it's kind of fucked up, but that's not how it looks on the actual video. That's just because I have it slowed down. And for these like rewind or like slow-mo type clips, you want to put in rewind and you want to make sure that the starting frame is the exact same frame as the ending frame. I just did some text tracking. It's really simple. It's like one of the first things I learned when I started editing. Like you'll notice it just says, "Hey guys, bye guys." I thought that was a cool little thing to slip in there for anybody who wanted to like watch again and pause on that moment or something. It's cool little details like that that really make like the video yours. On this video, I was focusing more on the transitions and making it look smoother, so it was just like a full run with some miscellaneous clips. Like you'll notice right here, I was trying to line the car up with where it was in the next clip, so I'll use like the window positioning. Just pay attention to where the windows are, and that's how I track where the car is at to the next clip, and it'll look really smooth because the car will be in the exact same position. You see how the car barely moved in these clips, and right here, this clip is actually mirrored. You'll notice the text is backwards just so I could get the transition good. So there was like 3 cuts where the car was in the same position. And then right here, like on the first day, just like how I use the camera to make a transition, you'll notice I turned around, and then when I turned back around, I made a cut. Here's that again if you missed it. And then I cut it to just me drifting. So I did that mirroring thing again, just so I could get a smooth cut and it wouldn't be the opposite direction. You'll notice my cursor is backwards. That's a giveaway. But yes, you'll notice right here the chase car changes because I used that exact technique again. I really liked how that cut came out. One of the transitions that I did towards the end of this tunnel, you'll see right here I braked really hard and I got stuck for a minute, so I wanted to cut away and make it a perfect loop. So I moved the clip, like I moved it down a little bit and I zoomed it into the car so that it could line up with the next clip. You'll see the technique I used in my Car X video. You'll notice how like similar these are, but obviously there's some stuff you can't control. Like you'll notice the elevation is a bit different, or like the camera angle, but I made it as smooth as I could possibly make it. I'll slow it down so you can have a better look. Here you can see I used a blur dissolve, so it'll be easier on the eyes when it cuts, so you don't like notice, oh shit, the car is now on a different incline. Here I'm in DaVinci Resolve. This is a free program if you want to get it. I had like a little window up here, right? So I duplicated this clip up here so I could get that shot on the top. And to get the perfect loop, the way I did it in this video is you just drag the start over to the end, and you want to make sure it has these little markings to show that it's a continuation of the clip. So this is what somebody's gonna see on like Instagram or TikTok as they're replaying the video. They're not even gonna realize the video is replaying. And then here I'll go more in depth on how I made that cut. I went in here and I changed these so that it would track the way I wanted it to. Sorry, this got us. So up here, you'll notice the screen moves downward a little bit, just so you'll see the car is in the same position on the screen with the tail lights and the windows and whatever. And usually I'll use the windows. You can use whatever you want to line it up, but you want to make sure it just looks decent. I rotated it a bit as well to get the car position right. And you see like stuff like that, no one's really gonna notice this little sliver at the top. They might notice like the screen move a little bit. So starting off, this is just my raw recording. I got a few different angles in my replay viewer. You want to usually try to get like 2-3 angles or more. The more the better, or just try to make your game look good. Yeah, so you'll want to like trim the clip, take off the parts you don't like. What you want to do is you want to make a bunch of cuts. So you want to find the spots where like you're adjusting your camera or like the bottom bar is showing. Try leave in as much content as possible. If you leave in a few frames, it's fine. You can go back later and adjust it. I'm going to try and use this as a transition to like maybe inside the car or something like that. But yeah, you get the idea. I'm gonna cut up this recording and I'll be back. So right now I'm going through the clips. My game got a bit choppy at sometimes because of the excessive camera movement. I was trying to get some different type of angles in this, but that's just because I'm trying something new. You guys probably don't have to worry about that, but I try to be extra picky with my clips. If it looks shitty, don't use it, obviously. But yeah, I'm trying to get some transitions by like pushing the camera inside the vehicle and whatnot. I'm gonna try to go for an effect where I'll be like warping in and out of the back seats for angles and stuff. Okay, so I've got something started here. After, of course, I cut up all these clips and cropped them since I had the replay bar in some of them. I have these clips in order, which was kind of hard to do if you don't record your angles in order. You'll see like the tail sliding out, and then right here I lined it up. The tail of the car is lined up with like the lines of the door. And so in the next shot, I try to have it the exact same so it just cuts. Usually I try to get as close as possible, but sometimes you can't really get it perfect and you just have to settle for it. Sometimes you just have to settle and be like, okay, next time I'll do this better, and that's how you get better. So don't ever try to get it perfect. Just focus on improving with your videos. But yeah, you see how these two cars are coming up, and then in this clip it's in the same position. Same with this. I switch from backseat to first person, and this car is coming up, and you can recognize it's the same car right there. And right here, I did a little slow-mo with a slow-mo cam in the corner because I got another angle. Some angles can look really nice, but it's all about your gameplay and what you're doing. And here's my other angles. Like, this is just like my leftover stuff over here that I didn't really use. Like, this was the extra backseat cam and driver cam. Now I'm gonna focus on transitions, because you want to do your transitions after you've already got the video how you want it to look, because I found that if I work on my transitions before my cuts and stuff, I'll like move some stuff around and then my transitions will disappear. So what I do with my transitions is so in video transitions, I use this blur dissolve. I'll show you the settings I put on it to make the cuts easier on the eyes. So what I'll do is I'll drag it on here, edit the properties, set it to usually I do like 10, 20, or 30 frames depending on the shot. But if you're doing something like this with a lot of action and you can't really miss a part, you wanna do like shorter, like maybe 5 to 10 frames, and you'll still notice it, and it will become easier for you to watch. I set these strength, like I set these to even just so it looks better. But you can do what you like depending on how you want it to look. But this is just what I do, and you'll notice like it fades away. Say you're doing like a cut from like a left side shot of the car to a right side shot of the car. You probably wouldn't need to put a transition since it's such a similar shot, or like if there's not too much movement. But if you do want to make it smoother and easier to look at, you can do that. But right here, I'm not going to put a transition just because it's going from the back seat to the front seat, and it's not too much change of scenery. Like, you'll notice it looks pretty much like the same. You know what's going on. But if I'm doing like fast stuff like right here, and like I'm doing like 1 second clips, I'll put a transition just because I don't like my videos to look like super rough or like unpolished. But I do like more of like a raw like gameplay type feel.